Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. Again, my name is Courtney Austin, and I'm the marketing coordinator here at AIM. So without further ado, since it's 9 o'clock, we'll go ahead and get started. Anthony, go ahead and take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Anthony, and I am a regional marketing director here at American Independent Marketing. Today, we're going to be going over the consumer as well as agent marketing tools as well, for the most part, kind of like a two-in-one for the most. And to add to that, we will be touching on a few tools, but not all of our tools. Keep that in mind. We still do have a wide, vast variety that we can be able to make use for you guys as agents. But without further ado, let's kind of get into some brief reminders. So you will be muted throughout the duration of the webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to queue them up in the questions tab. And at the conclusion of our webinar, our marketing team is going to be doing follow-up calls. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them at that moment in time, and we'll be able to assist you the best way possible. The webinar will be recorded. So if you do miss any part of the webinar or simply would just like to rewatch it, feel free to ask the marketer as well, and we'll be able to get you a link to the recorded version. Our next webinar will be We Cracked the Code. That's going to be kind of an LTC-based webinar with Mike Anderson, and that's going to be next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's definitely something you won't want to miss. We've went over that one before in the past, but things keep changing and keep growing in the LTC market, that it's important to kind of keep up to speed. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first tool, it kind of goes without saying, but that's AIM's website. On our AIM's website, we have, webinars, access to agent success stories, resources. And I'm going to kind of show you as well to what I'm looking at and what we're talking about. So this is what our website looks like, similar to what our screenshot we had, but on here, like we were talking about, the webinars tab, similar to what we're talking about and what we're doing right now. All of our webinars get listed on our website. And one second, well, it's taking a second to load. Here we go. So as you can see, we have all of our webinars, and they're normally chronological order and what order we just recently did them. So after this webinar is done on our website, and once we get this updated, it will be the first one you'll see. But the easiest way sometimes, depending on how you want to go about it, you can, of course, filter it through long-term care, critical illness. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Click on long-term care. It's going to filter all of our long-term care-based webinars. As you can see, we have a wide variety, different topics as well. So that's huge also to pay attention to. But it is a nice tool, and it's something important that you don't want to miss. Agent success stories. Agent success stories is another big key. What's nice about the agent success story is if you're ever curious or want to just hear from someone else within our market space about what's going on or how they can do what they can do, selling Medicare supplements from the ground up. It's nice. Kevin's a nice guy here around the office. We all met him and know him. It's nice to be able to learn a little bit more about how they got to where they got, et cetera, et cetera. We have everything from long-term care, dialing down inflation, another one from Mutual of Omaha. So there's some unique tools that can be able to benefit you vastly in this type of space. So we also have a resources tab. This is probably one of our most important ones, I would say, for the most part, because from here, you can actually download forms. A lot of people don't know that, but you can actually download forms on our website. And sometimes people may get this confused, but let's just go down to Washington. Here's where we currently are, Washington. I'm going to make this pretty simple. All the carriers will pop up, right? I clicked Washington, state you selected. Carriers are going to pop up. Let's just say Mutual of Omaha. I click on Mutual of Omaha. As you can see, products available pop up. We'll click on long-term care, because we were just talking about that. And as you can see, you can download all the PDFs that you would need. Of course, there may not be all of them, because there are going to be some that you may need and want. depending on what the case may be, but you have shopper's guide, brochure, underwriting guide, the app, everything that you specifically need for that product, you're going to be able to download here in the resources tab. So that's key. Do not miss that. Also on here, we do have our E&O program. A lot of people don't realize that we also have an E&O program with Arthur J. Gallagher. From here, you can be able to click on Get Premium Indication. It's going to be a discounted rate, which is nice. It's nice and huge for those who don't have the capability or even have an E&O insurance yet. It's a nice little outlet. As to that, even on here, back to the webinars, this is going to take you to the same exact webinar tab that we had at top that I showed you earlier, but it's also under resources, incentives, LTCI, sales forms, sales resources, everything for the most part that you may think of right here, we got it. What's also nice, as you can see, I just scroll down, software downloads. Pay attention though, some of these we do not have. We need to update, of course, with Genworth, need to take that out, and a couple others. But for the long-term care purposes, because we get asked this a lot about our long-term care quoting tool, the one that we have that's a built-in software that we created, you can actually download our software, which is right here, Mutual of Omaha, Mutual Care Solutions. This is an important if you're in the LTC market space and you do not have this tool and you are operating with Mutual of Omaha, I highly recommend getting this and then calling here at the AIM office, and we can even walk you through the quoting tool to show you what it looks like, because it's a beautiful tool. Let's go to the next slide. LTC quoting tool. So this is going to take us back to where we were looking at. They're kind of similar. Right up here in the AIM, here, let me just go to the main page so you kind of see it from entering in the page. So right here, you're going to have at the top tabs, quoting. Here's LTCI quoting. LTCI quoting, easy, pretty simple to use. I'm going to show you how to use it, the difference of what we're trying to do. So as you can see, first one's going to be agent information. I'm just going to preload some of my information that I already have on there. Next, client, so say 54. Now, if you are applying with husband and wife or spouse or partner, joint insured, you want to click yes, because then that'll add down the drop down for you to add your partner's information. For this part, we'll just say no. Now, when you get to the policy information, you'll see products with Mutual of Omaha, you'll see NGL, you'll see Thrivent, you'll also see New York Life. Keep in mind, just a heads up, we do not offer New York Life. This is just on the quoting tool. Let's just say it's a tool for you if you have a comparison. If somebody's asking you, hey, I got a New York Life agent that's offering me this, whatever the case may be, you have the availability to quote it, but we do not offer it. So that's key to note. Stick with Mutual since we've been talking about it. Hit next. As you can see, everything that you have questions on or you may want to input, mail, select, 4,500. We're going to keep this pretty simple and pretty straight to the point. Full of money. We're going to keep this all the same, just so we don't have to worry about it. And just for, obviously, visual purposes, modal factor down below, this is something you always want to pay attention to. And payment option depending on what carrier you're using, because of course, Mutual is going to only be lifetime, but other carriers like NGL, Thrivent, they all have limited pay options. So you want to pay attention to that if you're doing like a 10 pay or a single pay. But modal factor, important to note, it's going to always have it automatically set at annual, but you'd have to change it if you wanted to change it. Let's say monthly. We'll calculate a premium to show you what the premium is going to be for the annual. Now, what's nice about this tool is you can always compare. So you can press compare. Then from right here, you can add quote. Let's say we want to do Mutual of Omaha again because we want to see what it's going to be for 5,000. Random number selected, 280,000. Calculate premium, compare. It's going to bring those two quotes that we just ran side by side. From there, Of course, you can print as a PDF. This is what the PDF will look like. You can save it so you can be able to show your clients. Now let's go back. Now outside of the quoting tool, on the next page, what we're going to be talking about is the AIM quoting portal. So similar fashion, but just a little bit different. On here, you're going to have access to, as you can see, your EABs, Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, dental vision, final expense. This is probably one of the most important tools that we see get utilized a lot. Let me show you how to use that one. Quoting tool, you go to right here to quoting profile. So underneath quoting portal, excuse me, I don't know why I said profile, quoting portal. You click on that. What it'll do is it'll bring up that same exact quoting tool that you saw in the screenshot. Here we go. We'll kind of show you what we're looking at. Let's say you want to look for a Medicare supplement and you want to see what's the best rate in your area. Say we'll click on our zip code. We'll click on our current, here Yakima, Washington, 65-year-old, male, non-tobacco, whatever plan you want to look for, we'll say G. Say we want the effective date. Mind you, you always want to use the effective date correctly. So if you were, on the quote wise, if you wanted to do, March 1st as your effective date, select that because that's important. Your rates may change or be different depending on when you do the application, of course. So let's just click get quote. If we were to write an app and we wanted it to be the effective date there, we're going to be looking at, as you can see, all of what we offer is going to show up. So Cigna, United World, Humana, United Healthcare. Keep in mind, we do offer all these plans. So if that is something you are looking for, wanting to get appointed, we can do so. What's neat about this tool, you can even apply the household discount. So you have husband and wife both applying. Or, of course, pay attention to what the carrier specifically has for their home health care discount or their discount. Because one thing about the household discount is not every single carrier has the same exact requirements. So keep that in mind. One may be just living with a partner for X amount of years. It's important to know. Apply the discount, as you can see, the rates will change just because it's going to apply that discount for you. What's nice about this too, a lot of people don't notice or realize, is that we have health conditions. You can actually select your underwriting filter. Let's say you wanted to add a heart attack. As you can see, it's going to have a drop down and it's going to show you the underwriting implements on, or what it says in the underwriting guidelines for that specific condition. Heart attack, we're going to be looking at 2-year look back. Nice, easy underwriting filters. No one found. Doesn't really matter because we're looking at right here. So health questions. This is going to show us what's going to be on the application. It's important to note a lot of times you may want to know or even select which ones will accept it, which ones won't. Because sometimes you'll see even, for instance, we have heart attack selected, right? United World, Cigna, 2-year look backs on all of them. Humana, heart attack, not even on the application. Now similar, if we wanted to run a quote with dental vision, we could do the same, final expense, everything is going to be the same. This is kind of a neat little tool that gives you access to everything we offer. You never know if a client, let's say you're on the road and client wants to know what a dental vision is. I'm just going to kind of show you real quick as well. As you can see, zip code 65, we'll just say female, non-tobacco. We want to sort by price. You click on get quote. It's going to show you a wide variety of dental vision products and what the rates are looking at. As to this, I kind of do want to show you really quick. Let's say you wanted to compare quotes or you wanted to print this quote. Let's say you wanted Medico Mutual. You click on it, it'll highlight green. It'll bring them up to here to your compare quote. You can actually click on this compare quote, and what it will do is it will bring up comparison quotes. So put it side by side, Mutual of Omaha, Medico From there, it'll also break down the plan detail for you for the most part. Not too in depth, but it kind of gives you a good overview that you can explain to the client to show them, what they're looking at, what they're getting. Mutual of Omaha, Medico shows you AM Best rating as well. It's like a side-by-side comparison of company to company, apples to apples, kind of sets it apart for you. Mutual of Omaha Marketing Solution Center. This is probably one of my favorite tools that is offered. And it's nice because Mutual does so much for their clients as well as for their agents to be able to give them tools to succeed, especially in this field. I'm going to bring it up for you. So let's look it out. Campaign Builder, Tools and Resources, Marketing Support. 3 different tabs you can click on. We'll click on the Campaign Builder to see what we're looking at. Health insurance, life insurance. So you can, of course, navigate between the two. We'll click on health insurance just because it's in the same field we've been talking about this whole time. Campaigns. What's nice about this, let's say we want to look at, again, long-term care. This is how you can filter. As you can see, critical advantage, disability, long-term care, Medicare supplements. Let's just kind of go down. What's nice about Mutual is they give so many tools to be able to utilize and at our fingertips using LTC e-app, managing expectation when client goes on claim, kind of going back through the advantage of traditional long-term care. Now let's click on this, see what we're looking at, right? Right here, they'll give us free promotional text that you can be able to, as you can see, LTC plans have changed. Copy, paste, contact us, put your information right here, good to go. This is all client approved. Everything here is client approved. So you can be able to use it on a consumer basis with flyers. You can use this, attach it to your website. You can use email templates. You also have banner ads, quite a few different tools that Mutual gives to be able to help you succeed with this specific field. But again, this is just long-term care. As you can see, there's quite a few different campaign tools that you can utilize. They also even have client-approved videos, or consumer-approved, I should say. So kind of keep going through. Now let's go back a page so we can also look at, or up here, we'll just look at the tabs. So on that first page we were looking at, it also has a campaign builder. We're going to go to Tools and Resources. Tools and Resources, what's nice about this is it'll kind of help us understand a little bit more. So for instance, if you wanted to use the strong, stable, secure flyer, on this flyer, I'll click on it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's going to bring up the flyer to give that brief overview of the financial, say, of Mutual of Omaha. In case let's say you have a client who really wants to know, what their strong and stable suit looks like. From here, Mutual of Omaha does a great job at breaking it down, but they also give you that access to be able to save it, create it into a PDF. Our company website, right here, take you to the company website, product-specific resources, just in case you needed specific resources on long-term care. Let's see, LTC cost of care calculator, which this will break down, what we're looking at for the cost of care in certain specific areas. LTC sales and marketing process booklet. It's kind of a nice avenue right here that can take you to just different places. That'll help you on the life side, long-term care, disability, cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Neat little tool. Up here on the next right-hand side is the marketing support. Marketing support. Mutual does everything they can to be able to give, that back office help, if you will. Ongoing communications express. I would always recommend, if you're strongly involved with Mutual of Omaha, subscribe to their Express. They always send out different things, updates, what's going on in the Mutual world, whether it being, long-term care, life insurance, adjustments that they're making, things that are coming down the pipeline. This is where you stay up to speed and up to date, similar to things that we would know as well. It's big key. Media Kit. The Media Kit gives you tools to help promote to your agents. If you're interested, of course, you can contact them to subscribe to that. product training, advanced markets, sales concepts, incentives, contests, recognitions. Nice things to always be able to keep access and up to speed with. Mutual quick quoting. This is one of my personal avenues I always go to. What's nice about this tool is, let's say if you're out in the field and you just want a quick quote. You already have a detailed quote for a term life product. You have a term life answers product. You have a full detailed quote. Your client says, well, hey, you gave me 200,000. What would it be for 100,000? Kind of show you what that looks like. Super easy tool to use. What's nice about this tool specifically as well, you can actually download it as an app on, let's say if you have an iPhone, Android, you should be able to have the capability to be able to download quotes for sales professionals. And this same exact tool will pop up on your phone, which is nice. But you can also use it on a website version as well. So let me show you term life answers. Like we said, you're dealing with a customer. We'll go back to Washington. Your client is 55, male, non-tobacco. Make sure, of course, whatever you want to select, we always start, personally, us here at AIM, we always quote a standard non-tobacco when we start something just because we never know what will come back in underwriting. It's nice to always let your clients know, hey, you got a better rate because you were healthier versus saying, hey, you're more unhealthy, so we have to raise your premium a little bit more. So let's say standard on tobacco. And again, you gave them a 200,000. They want to know what that 10-year for 100,000 looks like. It's as simple as you inputting it, pressing calculate. Guess what? There you go. Boom. You have your monthly, quarterly, your semi-annually, as well as your annually. It gives you every information that we just wanted, as well as what we inputted for state, age, gender, and what we have pretty much for the most part to sum it up. Really easy tool to use. I highly recommend, if you are utilizing Mutual of Omaha, for the most part, this is something you really don't want to pass up. Nice tool, right? Now we're going to kind of jump into GTL. What's nice about GTL is they also give you the availability to download forms, look at your recent business, commissions, consumer marketing, but we're going to break it down for you so you can kind of see what we're looking at. Before you get to this G-Link page, when you log in immediately, it's going to take you right here, GTL, Agent Portal, menu. This is what you're going to see when you first initially log in. You hit that access to the G-Link, and what that G-Link will do is it'll take you to exactly what we're looking at. You could, again, download order forms. Similar to the way we did it with Mutual, you select the state, you select the product, and then you select what specific app you want. What's nice, you can immediately save it. You can save that PDF. You can use it the way you need. It's always nice to be able to have that access, right? What's also nice is if you have questions about agent training, you want to learn more about a product, you can click on the agent training tab and you'll be educated, of course, on, let's say, short-term home healthcare product, critical illness. You want to learn more about it. GTL has the best, in my opinion, ancillary products in the market. So if you want to learn more about it, go ahead and click on the agent training, learn a little bit more. Consumer marketing gives you options to be able to similar with Mutual, that you can be able to send consumer facing. Mailbox, correspondence. If you're getting a correspondence from GTL, this is the right spot to click. This will give you the information on, let's say, if you have something missing, you need something more. GTL will communicate via here, as well as to our back office, which will communicate with you as well. Commissions, if you ever have any questions on your commissions, right tab right here. Recent business, your most recent business you have submitted will be located in the recent business tab. What's nice is, again, we're just showing a couple different options, a couple different carriers, and our most popular carriers, GTL being one of them. just some quick sales tips that we wanted to kind of briefly go over. You know, look and act like the professional you are. That pretty much is, for the most part, kind of self-explanatory. You know, dress the part. You don't want to be able to walk into a house with shorts, flip-flops, and a crop top. You want to be able to have a full meal deal where you're looking professional. You got everything set up the right way, and you're able to perform. You know, when you look, first impressions are always big, and we've learned that from years growing up, right? Look the way you want to be treated, look the way you are. Professional is that way, in that route. Be someone you want to do business with. Again, that goes from communication, the style, the way you dress, everything ties in all together. Listen before you speak. Listen before you speak pretty much is one of the biggest tools you can utilize as an agent. That's just listening to what your client has to say. 90% of the time, and maybe that number is a little bit up there, but anywhere between 80 to 90% of the time, your client's going to sell you already before you need them, or you need to be able to convince them to want the product, or whatever the case may be. Most of the time, they're going to sell you if you just listen to what they have to say. Prepare, prepare, prepare. You don't know how many times we have agents who will go and present a product, not necessarily understanding the product, but presenting the product because they think the client wants that product. A lot of times, that's where you come into the situation of not necessarily understanding what your client may ask, or being able to present the important key details that would even sell the product itself, that would get the client to understand that that's a solution to whatever problem that they may have in the future. Surround yourself with great influencers for your career. What that means, for the most part, get involved with other people in your community. Get involved with other agents that are in your specific circle and field, because that will help you be able to grow. Don't lead with price. How many times do we always say this? But sticker shock is a real thing. A lot of times you'll have agents who will bring, and this is a common mistake, where they'll want, that package that they can retire with. They want to have a $10,000 maximum monthly benefit. They want to max out what they can for a lifetime benefit. They want to max out the whole exact thing just to go show the client, say, hey, I know you got money, this is what you want. Sometimes, unfortunately, that's not what the client's looking for, and that's where they immediately get turned off. So even having a counter is not even want to be looked at. Do not lead with price. Lead with an understanding to what the client needs and wants, and then from there, you'll be able to create the best product for your client. Emphasize the importance of insurance. Again, it's important for them to understand that this is a solution to a foreseeable problem in the future. Insurance is probably one of the most important details instead of the price, if that makes sense. Cold calling is not dead. Cold calling is one of the most toughest things about an insurance agent, right? Calling clients who just do not want anything to do with us. What the nice part is, though, about cold calling is you never necessarily know what's on the other side of that phone, where somebody may have just went through some type of experience that they've been thinking in their mind that, hey, I need life insurance, I need life insurance, I need life insurance, but just never give anyone a call. Again, you just never know what's on the other side of the phone. So cold calling could be beneficial for the most part, may not, but it's still not dead. Get comfortable with social media. Social media has been taken over for the past, decade. It's been growing and growing and growing to where now, I know on my social media, I always see ads of life insurance agents or health insurance agents all the time, consistently. As you can see, just when we were watching the Super Bowl recently, there was multiple different, like Humana had an ad. There was multiple different healthcare providers out there. I know our local ads, we even had an insurance agent on there saying, hey, come to me for blah, 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 blah. Social media isn't dead. It's actually extremely growing. And the thing is, we need to get comfortable with that. And of course, we can be able to help assist for the most part to get you to kind of understand what we're talking about. Mutual of Omaha, they actually just entered in Facebook. They created their own Facebook group to where they have licensed agents and different people that are associated with Mutual. And what's nice about that is everything they put out there is all consumer faced, or they'll let you know, hey, this is only for agent use only. But what's nice about that is you're staying up to speed with them. And again, get comfortable with social media. If you want access to that Mutual of Omaha, group on Facebook, if you are on Facebook, feel free to ask. We can get you set up with that as well. The best way to build your business is through central influences and referrals. And this kind of goes without saying, kind of tying everything together, where if you, Agent A, works with Agent B, and you know each other, you guys have a friendship, a bond. Agent B, let's say, writes PNC. It doesn't have to be in your specific field, but let's say he writes PNC or long-term care for matter, and you're a life insurance agent. If that agent has a referral, maybe a client, they really want life insurance. When you build that rapport with somebody, a lot of times you'll see that transition to you, where that Agent B will say, hey, can you be able to take my client? They want life insurance. I know you write life insurance. You're pretty good at it. Can you please take care of it? For the most part, we see that a lot, and that's how you can be able to build a book of business, just by having relationships with other agents or even people just within the central field. Now, for the most part, one of our most important things is contracting. LTC for producers is what we utilize. It's important to note, if you do not have access, or if you never logged into LTC through our agency to be able to get contracted, you'll always want to register a new account. Register a new account. It syncs through Nipper, so a lot of your information will preload into the contracting. So it's really quick, easy to use. Of course, here, any one of us in the office can be able to help you with it, but for compliance purposes, that's important. With that being said, thank you all for joining our webinar today. Again, we're going to be doing follow-up calls at the conclusion of this webinar. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us and we'll be able to help you if you want to get contracted, or if you need any assistance with, if you want access to the Mutual Solution Center, anything of the sort, feel free to give us a call. We'll help you out. In the meantime, we'll be calling you guys soon. Thank you very much. Next webinar again is next Wednesday with Mike Anderson over We Crack the Code, long-term care webinar. Again, thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and talk to you guys later.